The 19th of October 2015. These are some images from videographer James Reynolds. Please do go to his YouTube channel and check out the entire video of Typhoon Koppu, or Lando as it is known in the Philippines, as it came ashore there in Aurora province, bringing some absolutely destructive winds, upwards of 210 kilometers per hour reported out here, pressure down to 940 HPA. But the biggest issue, as you can see right here, has been the flooding. This storm has just been dropping copious amounts of rainfall. The churn has inundated entire villages out here in northern Luzon. We've also seen at least 2 reports of casualties at this time. But the biggest thing I think we see, though, as far as the death toll and the amount of injuries, is the number of people missing. It's over 8 at this point, and a lot of these very rural areas here in northern Luzon, we still have not gotten word out of just about describing what took place out here. So the death toll very well could rise. I hope it does not. I hope we get some good news, but there still is that threat. Now, at least the good news is our storm, it is not lingering over central Luzon as we anticipated. It moved a little bit farther here towards the west. Center of circulation just offshore here, just off of northwestern Luzon, north of Baguio City, and that is really bringing some much fairer conditions over here towards Cagayan, Aurora, even down towards Manila. Signal Force 1 has already been dropped, but the biggest issue is you can see this area banding wrapping around from the north, extending off here towards Luzon. This time, this really is the biggest worry here. Even though the storm system has weakened, it's down to a severe tropical storm according to the Japan Meteorological Agency, and I definitely 100% agree with that analysis. I think Pagasa still assists as a typhoon. I mean, look at this. Come on, let's seriously talk about this. This is not a typhoon. Where do you think that it is? This is definitely weakened down to a tropical storm, but there is still the threat of this banding coming around, and that's going to bring some additional rainfall. And even though it's not a typhoon, for all intents and purposes, guys, this is still the major threat with this. It's going to be these rain. Actually, some areas could see an additional 500 millimeters of total precipitation over the course of the next 76 hours. And now this storm's not going to be here for the next 76 hours, but as it does pull off here farther towards the north, we're still going to be seeing that banding wrap around the backside. So northwestern Luzon, you're really going to continue to see that rainfall pile up. Now, let's talk about the extended forecast, because I know if you're in Taiwan or even over towards Okinawa, you're kind of worried about this storm. For good reason. I mean, this came on shore there in northeastern Luzon as a powerful Category 4 equivalent of a hurricane if it was in the Atlantic. Good news, it has weakened out. We are going to continue to see it track off here towards the north. Possibly by Wednesday and the Thursday, it even could re-intensify, but the biggest thing is that this is going to have a much larger eye, I think, or at least even a dry slot. It's interacting with the northeast monsoon, so that's the biggest issue, is that I think parts of northern Taiwan, you could get some heavy rainfall, maybe not from directly from the center of circulation, but it's just that interaction with Luzon, or excuse me, with the northeast monsoon, that is, and we're going to be seeing a tight pressure gradient set up, and that's going to continue to scream in these winds from the north. I mean, I can even put up the pressure gradient up here on your screen. You kind of see what I'm talking about here. So we have our high pressure, which is coming in out of China, and what we have going on is this area right in here in between our low pressure area, our typhoon, and that high. That's where this wall is going to be setting up, and we're going to be seeing these very gusty winds, not only on Thursday, but even extending out to Friday and Saturday as our storm system moves off. Once it pushes by, the winds will completely let off and definitely die right down, but until it does so, you're going to be seeing some fairly gusty weather out here. Even for Ishigaki over towards Miyakojima, I think you could have even seen tropical storm strength winds. And yeah, for those of you in the Naha, this very well could eventually, maybe by the end of the weekend, come out here and push by you before moving over towards Japan. So, hey, I know this storm system was down towards the south. It was kind of on a back burner if you were out here in Naha, but possibly it could come out your way. It all depends on how the steering flow out across southeastern China over towards Taiwan plays out with this storm system over the course of the next several days. And the biggest thing you want to know on this is a very large cone of air, and what we're just saying is that this could eventually pull off here towards the east, or maybe, as the models were indicating yesterday, which I don't think it's going to happen, but it could pull over towards southeastern China. I'm kind of on the back end of that. I think this is eventually going to get caught up with the jet stream and pull towards the northeast, just like every other storm system that gets caught up with the jet stream. Now, there is a lack of defined steering flow to 100% say, yes, that's what's going to happen. What I mean by defined steering flow, for example, this is defined steering flow, this is defined steering flow, but look at this big old gap right in here, and that is not defined, and that's why the models have been a little bit all over the place on it. But hey, guys, some things we keep in mind. GFS on the left there, definitely trying to pull it east, but look at the ECMWF all over the place with their ensemble forecast. So these are some things we keep in mind as forecasters, but my gut feeling, this is going to pull north, stay east of Taiwan, and eventually move out towards the southern Japanese islands, rapidly becoming extratropical. All right, that's all for me right now. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. Questions, comments, or suggestions, why don't you field them to me at our Facebook page at Western Pacific Weather, or you check out the Pacific Typhoon Season Facebook group on Facebook. Lots of people answering questions if I can't answer it, so it's a good place to talk. Anyways, stay safe out there.